Hello everyone. Today I'll be demoing some of the work that I did as part of the Blue Dot Impact Technical AI Safety project. My project had two parts. One part I'll be demoing in detail. The other part I won't be sharing as much about, but I'll also be talking about later in the demo. So let's jump straight into it. This is the first thing that I wanted to demo, and it's really just an agent orchestration tool. And I've had a lot of fun making this, but it's a way to have different agents that are all working in a way that's easy for the human to manage, and also for the agents to communicate to each other from different providers. So each pod gets like a random city name assigned to it. So this is Porto, apparently in Portugal. You initially spawn with default a Claude Code agent called Claudius. And so this is a Claude Code agent, and you can see down here what it is. So the agent is Claude Code. It's running Opus 4.8 on the effort level. It's X high, and this agent's actually special because it's the manager for this pod. So you can make other types of agents. So there's Codex, there's Cursor, anti-gravity is integrated in OpenClaw as well. And so you can make any one of these. So we can make, for example, a Codex agent, and you'll see this is now running Codex. You can do the same also with all the rest. So I guess I can show. So this is, we can make one of each. So this is a Cursor agent. We can make an anti-gravity agent, and we can make a OpenClaw agent as well. You can load up like all the different agents, and we'll see them come online here. This is Composer, the Cursor agent, and so forth and so on. It will just take a moment, I think, to load. Okay, and we're loaded the OpenClaw agent here. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. All right, so it loads up as well. And you can go here and you can actually change the agents. So let's say, for example, I want that last one to actually be a Claude Code agent. So you can choose Claude Code, and you can pick from the models that they provide. So at the time of this recording, Fable 5 is actually not provided. So you can go Opus 4.8. Okay, and now you can choose your effort level. So let's say we want you at high. All right, and now you'll see that this is offered as an option. So if we go with the last one here, you can just select the number, and you'll see that it is Claude Code, Opus 4.8, and the effort level is high. So that's good. Also, the agents are generated in the pod with different names. So you see the different names displayed here. Shout out to Gastown. I got this idea from them about the random naming, and also the color codes for the agents. So thanks to them for open sourcing that. You can go here and you can, for the agent, you can rename it. So let's call this guy Tyler. And you can also reorder. So you can have Tyler here. Yeah, whatever you want. You can close down an agent. So like, for example, we can get rid of OpenClaw. So we have also the summary tab here, and we deleted an agent, and so we see that actually logged down here. So we see all the agents that are in the pod that are listed and numbered, and you have next to each agent some descriptors. So you see first that's the agent, and you see it kind of tries to mirror the logo. So like here, this is Claude Code, this is Codex, this is Cursor, and anti-gravity, Claude Code again, and you see the actual model. So this is O for Opus, G 5.5 for GPT 5.5, GP is Gemini Pro, and O is for Opus, and then it's dash followed by the actual effort. So here the effort is high, or X high, extra high up here. So also you get, beside that, a summary of what the agent is doing. So it's essentially like nothing for most of them at the moment. So we can, for example, tell the agent to do something. It's like, we can say, hello, Claudius. Okay, and what you'll see is, first of all, the status goes from idle, which is the green circle, to actually like it's doing something. It's also represented down here. And it will display our interactions so far with the agent. So it says awaiting direction as the pod manager. So it knows that it's a pod manager. And all the agents are actually aware of each other's actions in the pod, which is very useful, and of each other's identities as well. It's passed along in the context. Um, so so that's pretty much everything with the agents. All right, jumping on a little bit into the future here in the same pod, I just wanted to show one other feature, which is this feature that I'm showing at the bottom of the summary tab, which is effectively like what I call like pod Slack, where all the different agents can talk to each other and they can tag each other with certain messages. If an agent is tagged, it will actually add a little an extra notification sign to that particular agent, and then those notification signs are resolved on the next time that the agent is run. So if we run Gus, we can say, hey there. If we run this guy, then we'll see that the pod notifications goes away, because effectively the messages from pod Slack are actually fed already into the context. So it's a cool way for the agents to like interact with each other. Finally, there's one more feature that I wanted to show, which is the star feature. So you can choose to give any agent in your pod a golden star, and it will post like a little message for them. And it's very cute because you can reward them for good behavior, and it shows down here that this agent has received a star. So yeah, the reactions are sometimes cute to that. And finally, what I wanted to show was the full auto mode. So we can activate full auto mode, and you get this cool graphic. Okay, all right, now you're in full auto mode, and you get a little notification here that tells you that you're in full auto mode. Our manager is no longer Claudius, it's in fact Claudius Maximus. And in Claudius Maximus mode, if you give the agent a task, then the agent will effectively run the whole pod. So we can tell Claudius Maximus, hey, please build me a repo to play blackjack. Okay, so hello again from the future. So our agent actually ended up taking some actions here, and as we can see, Claudius Maximus actually ended up essentially directing the repo to accomplish the goal, which is to make the blackjack repo. So we can see they assigned a task to Tyler to build the repo. Then they had the 3 other agents to essentially verify different parts that the repo was working. And then after that, they took that information and fed it back to Tyler to have him work on the actual outputs for the repo. And they ended up working and generating this blackjack repo. Okay, now so you'll open it and Windsurf looks like, and yeah, I mean that looks like a legit repo. Okay, also run it for the demo. Let's see if you can pull this off. So it gives us it ran it itself, but it gives us the command to run it. And so let's see if we can run this guy. So let's post it in the terminal. Okay. Bankroll 1,000. Place your bet. Okay, so let's do 500. Here shows an ace. Insurance up to 250. Oh man, this is actually blackjack, and I don't really know how to play blackjack. I don't know what that means. Okay, 0. Okay, so I have to hit, I guess. Okay, I'm at 19 and they have an ace. Okay, I'm gonna stand at 19. Okay, so it looks like, oh, they had 21, and so they just made money, and I lost my. Oh wait, did they? Oh no, they had an ace, a queen, and a 10, and that ended up being 22. So they lost. Their hand was actually two aces. So I actually won 500, and so now I have 500. So looks like for perfectly functional game of blackjack from this agent essentially working and coordinating with all the other agents. So works as intended. So now finally I wanted to talk about the second part of my project, and this is the part that I'm choosing not to share publicly in great detail. So I'm sorry, by the way, this is technically a page on the internet, so you can go and look at this, but it still needs a lot of work. So I wouldn't pay attention too much to the text of the actual website or the layout of the actual website. Each one of these entries corresponds to a different paper that was autonomously generated through the autonomous research feature. And let's open a random paper and take a look at that one. So what you can see is that it generates the figures, generates abstract, introduction, and methods section. And all of this was autonomously generated essentially. And it will generate figures as well. And then at the very end, it will also generate references, and it will include also a CSV file and a text file, the data that it generated along the way for the analysis. And if we go back up, we'll see that the paper tags a bunch of adds a bunch of tags that you can use for lookup later. Also, there's a human oversight level. So here, human oversight was almost non-existent. I just had this the auto researcher work by itself to generate all of this. And there's a model tag as well. So as I fiddle with it and experiment with different auto research setups, I'll tag it with different versions so that I can tell if I'm improving or not. So if we go back, you can also look at other papers. I've been experimenting with like different formats. Okay, so this is a paper actually based on some results that I had gotten earlier, and the model was like taking those results and seeing what it could do next. And so this is another version of this auto researcher, and it actually produced also a paper, a shorter like research summary, and with some also references here. And you can also see it includes also a paper, actual paper as well, and in NURBS format, so you get the actual paper. And so here you can look up papers. So for example, you can search by name for a particular title, or you can also just go by the tag, search the paper. So it's just this paper has to do with the tag, or you can search with a specific version for the auto researcher. So for example, here are the papers produced by V0 of Claudius Maximus. Hello again. So I finally wanted to finish by just mentioning very briefly two things. The first thing is a big thing that I am working at right now is figuring out how to evaluate whether a research is good or not. So a lot of the research that's produced right now is, I think, pretty bad. It's hard for me to tell because I'm pretty new to the field of AI safety, whether it's like really bad or not. But I suspect that most of it is just like flat out wrong. So I'm thinking about different ways that I can tell whether research is good or bad so that I know whether my techniques are actually working or not. Secondly, I wanted to mention why I'm keeping some of the tricks for auto research, why I'm not sharing them. And here this has to do with the potential danger of this. This is a much bigger discussion, and I will in blog posts and also in the website in the future discuss in more detail my views on auto research and how I think that it can be useful for technical AI safety and used in a way that's actually responsible and mitigates the potential risks. So Anyways, that's pretty much it for me. It's getting to be a little bit late on my end, but thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the demo. All right, take care. Bye.